5, 4, 3, 2.
Crank it, Jerry.
Welcome to Into the Wild, the official podcast of the Washington Wild Pigs.
What do you hear? What do you say?
It's the best sports podcast in the world. Wait, is that true?
If you're committed enough, you can make any story. I once convinced a woman that I was Kevin Costner, and it worked because I believed it.
Now, here's your host, Kyle Dawson.
Did you get the popcorn?
Back here on the Wild Things Baseball Network, we're going to attempt to put a bow on this one for you, and we'll see about post-game highlights. We'll probably put something up later tonight, but I'm not doing it here as I originally planned. After a almost 4-hour ball game, the Wild Things win in sudden death this evening to knock off the Lake Erie Crushers. Let's go through the scoring. Top of the second inning, Washington got the first run of the game on a sacrifice fly by Brett Roberts. It scored Wagner Lagrange, who had singled to start the inning and gone to third on a double by Ethan Wilder, one of his 3 hits today. That made it 1-0 Washington. Lake Erie would respond in the bottom of the first inning with a run of its own. An RBI single by Sam Franco was the only blemish on the line of the pro debut of Dominic Pacetti. 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 run earned, and a no decision, 4 strikeouts, and 4 walks. Scoring would halt until the top of the 5th inning when Washington would go ahead and grab 2. Andrew Check, an RBI single, and then later in the inning, Ethan Wilder, an RBI single, made it 3-1 Washington. That held until Washington saw 2 runs score in the bottom of the 7th on back-to-back RBI singles for Lake Erie's Scout Knotts and Seth Strong, evening the game at 3-aside. The Wild Things immediately took the lead back in the top of the 8th. An RBI single by Willie Estrada made it 4-3. After a tumultuous 8th inning in which Chad Coles finished the inning that Jackson Hicks started, the Wild Things ended up with a 0, could not get insurance in the top of the 9th inning, and a 3-base error after a leadoff walk to Seth Strong by Jacob McCaskey in the 9th inning. He receives a blown save, but does not get a decision in this game. And by the way, there is no losing pitcher. A 3-base error on a sacrifice attempt by Dario Gomez allowed the tying run to score and put Gomez on third base. He did not end up scoring in the 9th inning. McCaskey was able to get out of it with no further damage, which pushed us to the 10th inning. A sacrifice attempt and a sacrifice credited to A.J. Arrico. An error allowed him to reach and allowed Cale Chatham, the tiebreaker runner, to come across in the same play and score. A few batters later, Tyreek Reed would single home Arrico from second base, and that made it a 6-4 Washington lead. The Crushers would grab 2 in the 10th inning. The tiebreaker runner came in on a bases loaded, or on an RBI single rather, by Dario Gomez, and then Logan Thomason, or was it Zach Campbell? Either way, one of those guys walked to tie the game at 6 apiece. And then McCaskey got out of that frame. It was Campbell, by the way, that walked in the run. And then in sudden death, Jake Carroll came on after McCaskey left the game. The sudden death runner was cut down at home plate on a throw by Robert Chayka on the money to Estrada, who applied a good tag as the runner slid in. After a foul out before that, a base hit by Burl Dixon. That was the play at home. And then Alfredo Gonzalez punched out for the 3rd time tonight. Carroll gets the job done in sudden death, and Washington wins. Depending on how you look at it, a thriller. 6-6, the final score. It'll go down in the box score as 7-6. But 6-6, the final score. Washington wins in sudden death and is now 10-7 on the season. Lake Erie is 10-5. The winning pitcher is Jake Carroll. There is no loser. And obviously there is no save. Because Lake Erie did not bat in the 10th inning, you will not assess a loss to any of their pitchers. That's just not how sudden death is worked. And that'll be how it goes down in the books. So Washington wins in sudden death. The finale of the series is slated for tomorrow at 6:35 p.m. Eastern Time. Zach Kirby gets the start for Washington against Enrique Saldana for the Lake Erie Crushers. No sense in trying to keep you around after 4 hours. We've been on the air more than that. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sticking with us. And the Wild Things took the tumultuous route to the win tonight, but they find a way to get it done in sudden death thanks to the efforts of Jake Carroll on the mound and Robert Chayka, quite frankly, in center field, who threw out the would-be winning run in that sudden death frame. And now the Wild Things look to win the series on the road tomorrow in what is a rubber game at 6:35. You can exhale now, and we'll talk again tomorrow to see if we can do it a little less stressful on the Wild Things Baseball Network presented by Rocco's Rolls. Good night. Here's the 2-2. Another breaking ball, and Strong just flails his bat at it for strike 3. The first professional strikeout for Dominic Pichetti gets him out of the first inning unscathed. Chance with 2 in scoring position here, 1 away. The pitch in the air, right field. Ranging over is Gomez into the right center field gap. He's going to get to it on the back pedal and make the catch. Throw's going to go in toward third base, but both runners tag, one of which scores. It's Lagrange in, and the Wild Things strike first on the sacrifice fly by Brett Roberts. It's 1-0. Or getting into this level of pro baseball, you get a chance to mold them how you want them to pitch. Ground ball sharply hit at shortstop. Wilder to Roberts for second at 1 and a first double play. But there's some central time zone games that are just underway. Swing and a miss by Franco. He's down on strikes. Second strikeout for Pichetti. And he's got that infield versatility. 0-1 is lined to left center field by Andrew Check. There's some contact. Around third to score is Jeff LaCorey. And Washington has a 2-1 lead as Check gets a hold of the line drive and brings home a run. Appears in a game. He was officially assigned today to Fort Myers. 0-1 grounded right side. Check leaping over it and having to get that big body up and scramble to second base. He's going to get there safely. It's an RBI single for Ethan Wilder, and it's 3-1 Washington as Wilder picks up his third hit of the day. Then with an 8-1 lead in terms of leverage. 1-2. Gonzalez swings and misses. Third strikeout for Pichetti is a second out here in the 5th inning as he gets by Gonzalez with heat. Lined at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch to Knotts. Swing and a miss. Fourth strikeout for Pichetti by Knotts with the fastball. And back-to-back strikeouts end a 1-2-3 5th inning for the left-handed starter. Had only 1 play to first. Here's the 1-0 to Estrada. Broken bat line drive left field. Softly hit down for a single. Wilder across to score. Estrada comes through with a pinch hit. Go-ahead single in the top of the 8th inning, and Washington retakes the lead just like that. Looks back at second, comes home, and Arrico gets it down. It's up the third baseline. Third baseman fields, throw is high, it gets away down the right field line. Sacrifice and an error will allow Arrico to reach and go to second.
And there you have Davey Morgan throwing that one away.
On the air by the third baseman, same type of throw. Rushed with a speedy runner, and the tiebreaker run scores and is essentially replaced with Arrico at second base. Pearson sets and deals. Tyreek ground ball up the middle, base hit. Into center field, Arrico waved around third. He is going to score. Tyreek Reed with an RBI single. It's 6-4 in the 10th. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the pitch. Swing and a miss. And Carroll gets the strikeout to win it for Washington in sudden death.
So what will this final score be in sudden death?
They took the very, 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 very difficult route to get there, but the Wild Things win to even the series